100 Facts. Grave of the Fireflies. Animated film. Grave of the Fireflies is a 1988 Japanese animated film directed by Isao Takahata and produced by Studio Ghibli. It's a powerful and emotional film set during World War II in Japan. Production and release. It was released in Japan on April 16, 1988. The film is based on a semi-autobiographical short story of the same name by Akiyuki no Saka. It was produced by Studio Ghibli, a renowned Japanese animation studio. The director, Isao Takahata, co-founded Studio Ghibli with Hayao Miyazaki. The film was not a commercial success upon its initial release, but has since gained widespread critical acclaim. It is often considered one of the most emotionally powerful animated films ever made. Plot and setting. The story is set in Kobe, Japan, during the final months of World War II. It follows the lives of two siblings, Seita and Setsuko, as they struggle to survive in the midst of wartime. The film begins with the death of Seita and Setsuko, and then tells their story through flashbacks. Characters. Seita, the older brother, is voiced by Tsutomu Tatsumi in the Japanese version. Setsuko, the younger sister, is voiced by Ayano Shiraishi in the Japanese version. The children's aunt, who takes them in briefly, is named Keiko. Themes. The film explores themes of survival, loss, and the devastating impact of war on civilians. It also emphasizes the bond between siblings and the sacrifices people make for their loved ones. It portrays the harsh realities of war, including hunger and disease. Animation style. The animation is known for its detailed and realistic depiction of wartime Japan. The film features a blend of traditional hand-drawn animation and a few instances of live-action footage. The character designs are relatively simple, which makes their emotions and expressions stand out. Music and soundtrack. The film's haunting and emotional score was composed by Michio Mamiya. The soundtrack features a memorable main theme called Setsuko and Seita. The music enhances the film's emotional impact and is often associated with its powerful scenes. Critical reception. It received widespread critical acclaim for its storytelling and emotional depth. Roger Ebert, the renowned film critic, praised it as one of the greatest war films ever made. It has consistently appeared on various lists of the greatest animated films of all time. Cultural impact. The film has had a significant impact on popular culture and has been referenced in various other media. It is often used as an educational tool to teach about the consequences of war. The characters of Seita and Setsuko have become iconic in the world of anime. Legacy and influence. It is considered a masterpiece of Japanese animation. It has influenced many other filmmakers and animators, both in Japan and internationally. Director Hayao Miyazaki, co-founder of Studio Ghibli, has called it one of the studio's most important films. Home video and re-releases. The film has been released on various home video formats, including DVD and Blu-ray. Studio Ghibli has also released a special collector's edition of the film. Awards and nominations. It received several awards and nominations, including the Mainichi Film Award for Best Animated Film. Live-action adaptations. In 2005, a live-action adaptation of Grave of the Fireflies was produced in Japan. The live-action adaptation was directed by Taya Sat and starred Joe Odajiri as Seita. Dedication. The film is dedicated to all victims of war. Food and survival. The film highlights the struggle for food during wartime, with the characters often searching for nourishment. Seita and Setsuko are seen collecting and cooking small animals, like frogs and crayfish, to survive. Fireflies. Fireflies play a symbolic role in the film's narrative and are featured prominently in the story. They represent the fleeting nature of life and hope in the face of adversity. The siblings release fireflies into the air during a poignant scene. Food can labels. The labels from empty food cans are used by the siblings to decorate and personalize their shelter. These labels serve as a reminder of the abundance of food they once had access to. Shelter. Seita and Setsuko find an abandoned bomb shelter, which becomes their home. They decorate the shelter to create a more comfortable living space. Setsuko's tin can. Setsuko carries a tiny tin container that she claims is filled with her mother's cremated remains. This tin can becomes a cherished possession and source of comfort for her. Japanese cultural references. The film incorporates elements of Japanese culture and traditions, including the use of kimonos and the celebration of the Obon Festival. The Obon Festival is a time when families honor their ancestors. Duration of the story. The story spans approximately a few months, from April to September 1945. The author of the original story, Akiyuki no Saka, based it on his own experiences during World War II. Nosaka's younger sister died of malnutrition during the war, which served as the inspiration for Setsuko's character. International releases. It has been released internationally and dubbed into various languages. It has gained a dedicated fanbase around the world. Live-action films references. The film, Grave of the Fireflies, is briefly referenced in the live-action movie Lost in Translation, 2003, directed by Sofia Coppola. Impact on Studio Ghibli. It marked a departure from Studio Ghibli's more fantasy-oriented works, such as My Neighbor Totoro and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. It demonstrated the studio's willingness to explore mature and emotionally challenging themes. Anti-war message. The film delivers a powerful anti-war message by depicting the suffering and tragedy experienced by innocent civilians, particularly children. It underscores the devastating consequences of war on families and individuals. Historical accuracy. The film portrays the historical accuracy of the bombing of Kobe during World War II, a tragic event that killed many civilians. Emotional impact. It is renowned for its ability to evoke strong emotions in its viewers. Many viewers have reported being deeply moved or even brought to tears by the film. Critical acclaim. The film has received praise from film critics and scholars for its storytelling, animation, and emotional depth. It is often cited as one of the greatest achievements in animation history. Restoration. In 2005, the film underwent a digital restoration process to enhance its visual quality. Alternate titles. In Japan, the film is titled Hotaru no Haka, which translates to Grave of the Fireflies. In some international releases, the film is simply titled Graveyard of the Fireflies. Seita's hat. Seita wears a distinctive red hat throughout the film, which becomes an iconic element of his character design. His hat is often seen blowing away in the wind, symbolizing the loss and turmoil he experiences. Straw sandals. Setsuko wears straw sandals, known as waraji, throughout the film. These sandals are commonly associated with traditional Japanese attire and are seen as a symbol of her innocence. Comparisons to My Neighbor Totoro. Grave of the Fireflies was released as a double feature with Studio Ghibli's My Neighbor Totoro in Japan. My Neighbor Totoro is a more lighthearted and family-friendly film, creating a stark contrast with the somber tone of Grave of the Fireflies. Survival scenes. Several scenes in the film focus on the siblings' efforts to find food and supplies, highlighting their struggle for survival. These scenes underscore the harsh realities of wartime Japan. Narration. The film is narrated by an adult Seita, reflecting on the events of his past. His narration provides insight into his thoughts and emotions as he looks back on his experiences. Original author's involvement. Akiyuki no Saka, the author of the original short story, was actively involved in the production of the film. He provided input on the screenplay and visited the studio during production. Influence on filmmakers. It has inspired other filmmakers to explore similar themes of war and its impact on civilians. It has influenced works in various mediums beyond animation. Seita's leadership. Seita takes on the role of a leader and protector for Setsuko throughout the film. His determination to care for his sister drives many of his actions. Prominent scene. The scene where Setsuko becomes increasingly weak and emaciated is one of the most powerful and heartbreaking moments in the film. It illustrates the devastating toll of malnutrition on her health. Awards and recognitions. It received numerous awards, including the Fuji Nober Award for Animation Excellence. It was also selected as Japan's entry for the Best Foreign Language Film category at the 61st Academy Awards 1989. Film adaptations. The story has been adapted into a live-action film, a stage play, and a television movie in Japan. The Red Candy Drops. Seita and Setsuko often receive small red candy drops from their aunt and other characters. These candies become a symbol of fleeting moments of joy in the midst of their hardship. Historical context. The film provides a glimpse into the daily lives of Japanese civilians during a tumultuous period in the nation's history. The portrayal of air raid warnings and bombing raids reflects the reality of wartime Japan. Grief and loss. It explores the deep grief and loss experienced by its characters. It portrays how loss can affect people emotionally and psychologically. Reception in Japan. The film initially received mixed reviews, with some critics finding it too depressing. Over time, it gained recognition and is now considered a classic. International recognition. The film was recognized internationally, including at film festivals, where it garnered praise and awards. It is often recommended as a must-watch film for anyone interested in the medium of animation. Grave of the Fireflies continues to be a thought-provoking and emotionally resonant work that has left a lasting impact on audiences worldwide.